Welcome to Women's Hour, the TERF Report with Kara Dansky. I have been TERFing for more than 10 years now, and in that time, I have learned a thing or two. Listen in weekly to learn about the latest in the movement to protect the sex-based rights of women and girls and to stop the abolition of sex. This is the 100th episode of Women's Hour, the TERF Report. For this episode, I'm doing something unusual. I'm using actual video, and I'm making this episode free. People are often surprised at how much I know and understand about the world of TERFing. I can rattle off facts without doing any research. Without even looking, I can tell you that the U.S. Equality Act was first introduced in the U.S. Congress by Senator Jeff Merkley from Oregon in 2015, and that it has been introduced in every session of Congress ever since. I know, just off the top of my head, that it has passed in the U.S. House once in 2019 and again in 2021, and has never been brought to a floor vote in the U.S. Senate. Facts like these just live in my head. The reason is that TERFing has become my literal job. When asked, I say that I am a full-time, unemployed, professional TERF, because that's true. I pour all of my time and energy into this fight, and Substack is a big part of that. I invited paid subscribers to make some short videos explaining why they subscribe to the TERF Report, and several did. What follows is some of their contributions.
My name is Julie Lane from San Francisco, and I subscribe to the TERF Report by Kara Dansky because she knows what's going on legally. Turns out legally is how we're going to win this thing. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Eleganta on Substack. I was on Twitter for years as Eleganta says no thank you. There are so many great Substacks out there fighting the catastrophic gender ideology lobby, but there's only one that I believe is absolutely essential. That's the one devoted to tracking, analyzing, and explaining how the rights of women to stand up to gender ideology are being fought out in the laws and courts of my country, Kara Dansky's TERF Report. It's not that much annually for me, but it's everything for all of us who need Kara to be doing her job. We need to stay informed of what exactly is happening with women's rights in our country. I absolutely believe this is essential. And that's why I'm a founding member of Kara Dansky's TERF Report.
You should subscribe to the TERF Report because Kara is brilliant and determined in her work protecting women and children.
As a lawyer, her Substack is more valuable than any CLE class I've ever taken. And because, unfortunately, I am an ROTD parent, and the subject of gender transition and all that entails is extremely important to me. And Kara deals with that subject intelligently and speaks in plain English and says everything that I think needs to be said.
Daphne and I stand in support of the TERF Report and Kara Dansky because she's telling the truth about the violence that's done to women and to reality itself when our sex class, from which our rights are derived, is defined out of existence. And then our objections to that are taken as foul play.
I subscribe to the TERF Report because Democrats are losing their minds over this issue and are going to continue to lose elections. We need Kara Dansky and the TERF Report to help save this ship.
And it's important to me that Kara Dansky comes from the Democratic side of the aisle. It's why I'm speaking up, because I believe it's time we all speak up from this side of the aisle and fight for ourselves. We wouldn't allow this to happen to anyone else. So let's do this.
Representing Tampa, Florida, I subscribe and listen to the TERF Report because it helps me feel more sane in these insane times. Thank you so much, Ms. Dansky.
I appreciate every single person who subscribes to the TERF Report. Together, we are going to win back the sex-based rights of women and girls and the material reality of sex. However, I owe everything to the people who actually pay for this Substack, because it is this Substack that allows me to pay the bills. I decided several years ago that I was going to throw everything I have into this fight. Unlike many, I have no dependents and I have no debts to pay. However, I do have bills, and it is only the revenue from this Substack that covers them. Without paid subscribers, I literally would have no livelihood. None of us ever wanted to have to fight to protect the sex-based rights of women and girls, or the material reality of sex. But when this war on women and girls was declared, many of us stepped up to fight it. To all paid subscribers, thank you from the bottom of my heart. As always, thanks so much for listening. Thanks especially to Vaishnavi Sundar, who edits and brings life into these episodes, and to paid subscribers. I have no intention of shutting up anytime soon, and I hope you don't either. As I like to say, if we can be heard, we will win. Until then,